Hey there everyone, this is Chris from Hometown Collective and CutFileSchool.com. In this tutorial I'm going to walk you through how to make this van using Cricut Design Space and iPiccy. So let's jump right in and get things rolling. I'm going to start using my shapes over here and pull in the circle, scale it up so that I can make a tire. So I'm going to hit Control C, Control V to copy and paste. I'm going to scale this down so that I can cut out the center hubcap. So I'm going to highlight both, come over and align to center. The center option will align it on both axes, horizontally and vertically. And then I'm just going to leave both of these selected and choose the slice tool. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out. It's literally going to cut it out into pieces. And keep in mind, remember, if you're not already aware, that you can only slice 2 graphic elements at the same time. So you can't do 3 or 4. You have to have just 2 layers that you're cutting up. Okay, so now that I have a tire made, I'm just going to copy it, Control C, Control V. You can also choose to hit duplicate up here at the top right corner. But now that I have these two, I'm just going to highlight both of them, shrink them down, and get them out of the way over here, okay? So then the next thing that I need to do is create a couple of bumpers. So I'm going to use the square tool, and I'm going to unlock it and make it a rectangle, okay? And then I'm going to use the circle tool because I want to make the front of the bumper rounded or curved, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and drop the circle behind so that I can see it and try to get it to where I want it, okay? Because I don't want it to be kind of a full circle in the front. I want it to have this kind of partial circle to the front of it, and I actually want to shrink this down some more. It's a little too long for my liking. Okay, so I'm going to try to get it nice and positioned into place, and then I'm going to, and you can come up and try to fine tune it by using your positions over here and get them exactly aligned, but for the sake of this video I won't do that. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to slice it so I can get it into several pieces. And so right now the only element I want to keep is this one right here. So what I'll do is drag him out, highlight everything else, and delete. Okay, so now I have my bumpers in place, or at least one of them, and I will take and unlock it and shrink him down, throw him over here, Control C, Control V, got my copy made, and then I'll actually take one and flip it horizontally so that I have my front bumper and the rear bumper. Okay, so then now that I have these made, I'm going to go ahead and make the actual shape of the truck. And in order to make the shape of the truck, you can try to make it with a whole series of shapes, and it's possible, but using iPiccy is going to be so much faster. So let's just go ahead and come on up to iPiccy, and you want to click on the editor. Okay, so when you open up the page, it's going to have 3 options for you. The screen actually won't look like this, but you have 3 options to select: editor, collage, or designer. You want to select designer, okay? And if you do have it open up in front of you, you would come up here and just select the options you want, okay? So we want designer, and then we want to create a vector shape. So we'd select this little symbol here, and it's going to bring up some options for us. We want to do the square, okay? So it throws it in place, and we get a wonderful option to curve the corners. And this is the whole reason we're over here instead of staying in Design Space. There's just simply no quick way to do it in Design Space. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transform this shape by tweaking the size of it to be a little bit more chunky, so to speak. So I like that. And then I'm going to actually alter the shape by clicking. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so I want to curve this in, okay, so that it looks more like a windshield, a front windshield. And I'm going to take and I'm going to curve this out so it looks like the front of a vehicle, so to speak. Okay, so I'm liking this shape quite a bit. I might bring this up a little more like that. Okay, that is my shape, and I could choose to alter the smoothness of these a little more if I want. But for sake of time, I'll just leave it. You guys can play with it all you want. Okay, so when you're done, you just click done. And then we want to scale this up nice and big. Okay, nice size here, because the bigger the image, the better it is for us to pull it in and allow our design space to cut out the image, because we can't save this as an SVG. We're going to have to save it as a JPEG or a PNG file. So I'm going to export it. Okay, click export to editor, and that's okay. Click save, save to my computer. I'm going to save it as the highest quality JPEG I can. Save to my computer, and let's call this design sample 2. Okay, so I'm going to save that and then close photo. Alright, so I'm back in Design Space. So I'm going to come over to upload. I'm going to upload my JPEG image, open it. Okay, I'm going to select the middle ground. That's kind of the way I go. I'm going to click on what I don't want to delete it. Okay, click continue, and then save as a cut image. I'm going to save that, and then select it and insert it. Alright, so here is our bus or van or truck that it is that we are making, and I need to resize these bumpers. Okay, so I'm just going to drop one in first of all to see what it looks like, and I'm going to drop the other one in. Okay, and I like somewhat the way it's looking, but let me just go ahead and bring them to the top so that I can see what they're going to look like on top here, scale wise. Okay, and I'm just gonna make them black now. I just want to see what it's gonna look like after I have it in. Okay, that's not too bad. I think I would like to drop this back until it's flush with the front, and same thing with this one, drop it back till it's flush with the back. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight all of it and weld them together. Okay, so then the next option is to take and scale the wheels, and I'm going to bring the wheel up to the top here, and I'm going to actually scale them together. So let me just go ahead and center them perfectly so that I can scale this guy up so that they're the right size for me. Okay, I'm liking that. Yeah, that looks about right. So then now what I'll do is I will actually cut this into pieces, okay, by creating a new circle so that I can have the wheel well etched out. Okay, but I want to drop it down behind the wheels so that I can line it up more central here. Okay, I like that, but I want to scale it down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to just go ahead and make this white so that I can see what it's going to look like, and bring it up on top of the van or the truck. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, just a little bigger than I want. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back down to there. That's looking pretty decent, but the one thing that I need to make sure is that this is lining up with the van. I want it to be as central to the van as possible with those crosshairs. That makes sense? So the way that I like to do that is, as I had it before, dropping it behind so that I can see the crosshair is here at the van instead of on top of it. So now I have it exactly lined up with the bottom of the van. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to Control C, Control V. Okay, and I'm going to put this right in line with the other wheel well, select it, and I'm going to just use my directional arrow key to make sure that it stays in track and drop it into place. Okay, I like it right there, and I'm going to just go ahead and slice that out by selecting both of those shapes and then select delete, select delete, and select delete. Okay, I'll do the same thing with this guy here. So I'm going to bring him up on top. Okay, so I'm going to select him, hold down shift and select the truck and hit slice. And then from here I'll just delete again the elements that I do not want, and it has left my tires there. So I'm going to just click on that tire, and I'm going to use my directional arrows again to position this tire so that it is centered in the wheel well. And there we go. So we're looking pretty good at this point. I'm really liking what we have. So the next step is going to be trying to add all of those additional accents, like creating the window, creating the signage, and adding some wheel wells and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and get everything in place except for the window. So I'm going to do the wheel wells and the side step and stuff like that. So I'll click the square here, I'll bring this guy down, and I will drop it in its place right there and just slide it over, try to get it as best I can. Okay, and then shrink him up. Okay, I like that. And so I'll go ahead and select it, hold down shift, select the truck, I'm going to slice, and I'll click delete and click and delete. Okay, so then now it's to create the wheel wells, and I'll do that by making 2 circles. So create the circle so that it's bigger than the wheel well. Okay, and I'll bring it over so that I can work with it out of the way here. Copy it, Control C, Control V, and scale this up, make it bigger, and then drop him in to where it looks about right. Don't have to make this one perfect by all means. I'm going to select both of these, slice, and then get rid of the elements I don't want, okay, by clicking and selecting. Make this guy white so that I can see it better on here, and I like that. So a little big though, or a little fat for me, so I'm going to shrink it to there. That looks a little better to me, and I'll nudge him and Control C, Control V so that I have an additional one in place here. So I'll bring it over, select both by holding down shift, and then I will center them vertically with each other, and that looks okay to me. So I'm going to select one, because remember I can only do 2, but a way that you could do it is to select this white piece, and then hit weld. Okay, so now that's 1 layer, so I can select it and select the van in the background, and now I can weld because now it's only 2 layers, 2 graphic pieces. Okay, so then now I can select to delete those, select to delete those. Okay, all right, so now that I have that in place, come back over to our iPiccy, click on editor, bring up designer again, and we are going to create a shape, square, round those corners until it looks like it's gonna be a good looking sign. Click done. Okay, I'm gonna scale it up so that it's nice and big. All right, this is the same process as before. Click export. I'm good with exporting. Save my computer, highest quality JPEG, save to my computer, design sample 3, save, close the photo, and then come back over to Cricut Design Space. We'll upload image, browse, design sample 3, open it up. I'm going to go middle ground, get rid of what I don't want, continue, save as a cut image, save, click to select, insert it, and now I have my shape that I need for my cutout. Okay, and it's pretty quick to do it this way. I mean, I would say it's just as fast as working within, if not faster, because you just don't have the option to create rounded shapes like this. Okay, so then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the van because I need to create the window space. So let me just go ahead and bring this guy over here. I'm going to create a couple of squares. Okay, so there's 1, there's 2. I'm going to select those 2 squares. I'm going to bring them off over here, bring this guy this way and just get over here to where we can see what we are doing, okay? So now what I'm going to do is just try to keep this portion of this shape, and I'm going to do that by taking this shape and getting it to yay big, and then bringing this guy up here, undoing the ratio, and bringing it over here. I think I like that. I'll go down a little more. Okay, so I'm going to weld those two shapes together, and now I'm going to take and copy it, or actually select it, sorry, hold down shift, select my truck image, and then I'm going to slice. Okay, so now I'm going to delete everything I don't want. Click, delete, click, delete, click, delete, and now I have what I want. Okay, so just come right back over here, drop this guy on top. I'm going to change him white so I can see it as I play around. I'm going to alter the scale of it slightly. Okay, I like that right there. And then I will alter the scale of this guy to make it the same height. Okay, and then drop him in and just take a peek and see. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll bring him back that way. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, and what I'll do is I'll select both of these, weld them so they become one layer, so I only have to cut once. So I'll click this, slice it, okay, and then click and delete, okay. Alright, well there is the completed utility truck. Hopefully you were able to pick up on a couple of things that you hadn't seen before. Maybe you learned something new, something you can incorporate into your designs. And if you did, I'd appreciate a like or a share. I do appreciate your time. I know this was not the shortest of videos, but until next time, take care. Bye.